Hello, young entrepreneurs, or maybe future entrepreneurs. Today we are going to show you a new business which is still under development, but it's going to be launched very soon. And it's called Skinny Burgers. Let's go check it out. Hey Patrick!
How's it going?
Yeah, great!
Good to
How are
see
you?
Good, thanks for
coming. Actually we met Patrick just yesterday and he was playing one of our escape games. We were shooting another video to show Phobia escape games and we wanted to show how excited our clients are when they walk out of the game. And that's when we caught him. So he was so excited, so we got in touch and we realized that Patrick is also an entrepreneur. And we took a chance to introduce Patrick to you guys, and I hope you can share your experience a little bit with our audience.
Absolutely.
So can you tell a little bit about the Skinny Burgers, about this concept, where you got it from, why Skinny Burgers?
So basically right now, as you guys can see, it's Skinny Burgers in the making. We've done a lot of adjustments here. We got this shell and core. And so basically the idea behind Skinny Burgers is McDonald's copy-paste, but half the calories. So everybody loves fast food, everybody wants to indulge, and obviously the best food is very high in calories usually, and you feel very heavy and you feel very uncomfortable and guilty eating it. Now the beauty about Skinny Burgers is you don't have this anymore, so you can indulge in a large size burger with only taking in half the calories.
Okay.
So that's the idea, and that goes for the burgers, that goes for the side items such as fries, nuggets, and so on. And nothing is fried, and everything is half the calories.
Sounds really cool. I'm so excited to try it out when it launches.
Thank you.
So talking about the business, so I think very important is to pick the right location. So can you tell us where we are at the moment? What is the place that you pick, why you picked it, and what will be your business model? Will it be mainly customers walking in, or will it be delivery? So how is it going to work?
Yes. So basically this area is called Culture Village or Al Jadaf, and it is still fairly undeveloped, but it's getting there. I saw a lot of potential in this area because the rents aren't as high yet compared to other areas such as Jumeirah, downtown, or even towards the marina side. So the ideal thing about this location is basically you have Al Khair Road. You have a lot of cars passing constantly. I mean, day and night, this street is extremely busy.
It's a lot of traffic.
Absolutely. And then there's a hotel right next door. It's called the Gold Crest Hotel. And this is a residential building as well. And then you have the D1 Tower. And you have all around the area basically now apartments that are slowly filling up. So we got this location last year around October. And it was even less busy, but we knew this area is definitely picking up.
Okay, cool.
They're building the largest tower of Dubai quite soon across the road. So this area is happening.
So there's a lot of potential in it.
There's a lot of potential, and I believe it's very important because when you take a risk, I mean, any new business, any startup is partial risk. Obviously, you want to minimize the risk as much as possible. So this area here for us, due to the rent, yet the possibility of creating something great, was there, so we took it.
I understand. I think also there's a lot of possibility to expand through online orders for deliveries. There are a lot of services which pick food and deliver to people. So are you planning to collaborate with any of those?
We will. I mean, there's Uber Eats, there's Deliveroo, there's Zomato, Talabat. All of these, I mean, it depends. We will probably choose one or the other, aiming for a good deal.
Of course,
obviously. We will connect with and we will use their services for sure. At the same time, we're going to have our own delivery. With our own little fleet of motorbikes, and then a very convenient pickup. And obviously, we have the space here. We're going to put some gravel to make it less dusty. And people can literally just come, pull up, honk, as I said, it's a McDonald's similar concept, so
Yeah.
the whole thing is literally going to be very fast. I mean, people
Awesome,
will just have their meals within a couple of minutes and
Mm-hmm.
can take off and go right back on Achia Road.
Yeah, I think it's actually a lot of like cool places. There's healthcare city nearby, festival
Absolutely,
city.
absolutely,
So actually for delivery it's like about 10 minutes away for a lot of people, offices and residential buildings.
Absolutely.
So I really happy with the location. Actually, it's a
Absolutely.
great place. So why don't we check inside and you can
Yes.
just show us. It's still work in progress, but let's see how it's
So-
done so far.
Come, have a look. This is Skinny Burgers. It's a bit dark at the moment. We're waiting for approvals.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what most of the startup businesses have to struggle with, just getting through the whole approval system and such as Diva and the gas. And then the final approval.
So let's imagine like a workflow, for example.
Yes.
Can you show us like let's imagine like it's
Yes.
all up and running at the moment.
Yes.
So can you tell us like
Absolutely.
what is where, like who is
Absolutely.
doing what? I can help you as like a cashier, for example.
So basically, where you see these screens right now, these screens will be coming up here. So you have the menu board right above the point of sales counter. The point of sales is going to be here. The customer will walk in. We can seat right now around 10 people. And as I said, again, key for us with this location are deliveries, takeaways. So this is what we're focusing on. Yeah, and so the order will be taken here, and then everything just basically goes through screen directly into the kitchen area, where basically we have our conventional ovens here. We have all covered due to the dust right now.
Yeah.
Especially with the sandstorms that we've been
Oh,
facing,
yeah.
right? It goes everywhere. We have the French fries dispenser over there, a griddle, and the assembly station. So basically everything is being assembled here, and then we have runners. They will basically take things from the oven, take things from the griddle, place them here. Here is going to be our bun toaster. A couple of equipment still needs to be placed, but everything is basically completely figured out in terms of speed, and because that's also what it's all about. You want to make sure people
Make it fast, absolutely.
Make it fast. Nobody wants to wait for their food. People are hungry, and so that is very important. That's something I can always recommend to entrepreneurs, especially in this sector. Make sure your business concept is according to the market, is according to the requirements. People are not very patient. Everybody's busy. It will go in 2 shifts. It's going to be a morning shift, then overlapping with the evening shift, and each shift will have 4 people.
Okay.
Yeah, as in within the kitchen, taking orders, runners, assemblers, 4 people, then overlapping for let's say the early evening hours.
Yeah.
And then the evening shift will just do the rest of the work.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Have you already hired anybody for your team at the moment, or
We've
still in
been
progress?
given offer letters. We've had interviews. A lot of people, a lot of great and professional people actually from this field were available. They were interested, and so we are in that process. Yet, you can only hire once the final trade license has been given to you, which will be given to us once all the final approvals are basically done. So until then, we will not do any training, any
Of course.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, that's clear. That's
So,
clear.
yes.
So, can you give some advice to the future entrepreneurs how to find the right candidate for a different position, not only for food industry but in general? Where to search for qualified people? And we have like 100,000 CVs going over. How to pick the right person who would suit your business?
See, that's actually a very interesting point. Hundreds and thousands of CVs, almost, you're right. I mean, we had a lot of applicants. You need to go through all of the CVs. Yes, guys, you need to go through all of the CVs. You need to make sure that also in your job description, you need to clearly say what you want. And then accordingly, see people. Yeah, but also feel people, also get a feeling for how keen are they, how are they willing to learn, are they willing to improve, how's the personality. It's not just about what's on paper, it's also really about the personality and is the person motivated. So if you find that, you might as well hire him, even though he might have, you know, less of a qualification compared to someone else. But if he would fit into the team, then, you know, give it a shot. But this is very important also. When you're trying to create a team, make sure they go together. Again, they can all be great on paper, but if they will not connect to each other, then there's no point.
Yeah, absolutely. I also felt it on my own experience. So sometimes you might find a really great specialist, like he's really good, but at the same time he might not be a good fit for the team. So it has to be a good balance between the professionality of the person and the personality as well.
Absolutely.
So they need to fit together, and not only in one person, but with the whole team, because you cannot work on your own, or you cannot ask somebody to work on their own. They have to work together with other people, and they have to like be in good touch together. And only then you can achieve great results as a team and as a business in general.
Absolutely, especially in this sector. I mean, it's going to get really busy, and you know, a lot of people they have to help each other out. You know, it cannot be like, oh, you're only responsible for this, and you will not do anything else. No, you have to be flexible, versatile, and you need to jump sometimes. You need to help out. So this is it's mandatory. You need to create a great team, and that starts literally from going through the interviews. Have 2 interviews. Yeah, have an initial interview, shortlist, and have a second one. They will come again. They will be keen to, you know, people. I mean, as I said, within, you know, 2 weeks, I had around 500 CVs.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and
so where do you get these CVs from? Like any particular stores, or where did you put ads?
Dubizzle.
Dubizzle
was working great for me. I got everything I needed. I had friends of friends, and people would, you know, pass along CVs, and eventually that's how we got our team together.
So when you do a business plan, you put up some numbers and you have it in mind for like to attract investment, but in reality it may be different. So in your case, can you tell us, is there any difference between what you planned in terms of financial investment and what it turned out to be in reality?
I'd like to say it's always slightly different, because when you're setting up your, you know, plan and your feasibility study and everything, you know, you're very positive, which is a good thing because it keeps you motivated. But then at the same time, you might, you know, be a bit too much on the low side. Now, I've had experiences with different businesses before where I've made that mistake. So with this business now, it was different. I mean, I would say 10%. Yeah, 10% was my variation where, you know, of you know, more that I had to invest. But 10%, to be honest with you, is totally acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah. You should always calculate a, let's call it miscellaneous. You should always have a buffer zone for additional, you know, funds that you need, that you might need to at least, you know, put into the business.
Yeah.
Because some things are not in your hands. As I said, the approvals, what I, you know, mentioned before.
Okay, so another takeaway from Patrick is that when you make a business plan, of course, try to calculate all your expenses so that you will incur in the future, but at the same time add like a 10 or even 20% safe buffer zone, so you know you will not get in trouble when it comes to real action. So that's our advice to you guys. Patrick, so can you tell us, is it your own money that you invest in this business, or did you attract investors?
Yes.
If it's investors, can you give advice to the guys that are watching us how to find the right investor?
Yeah. Now, this business I'm doing with my best friend, so we're on a 50-50, in a 50-50 scenario, which is perfect because you don't feel like anything is being taken out of your hands. Now, when you go with investors, you need to make sure that it is very clear what their position is going to be in the business, if they want to have any power or if they're just going to be silent investors. These things are very important to consider because, you know, if you have a vision and you have a great idea, but you don't have the money at this point, you might not want to rush it and just attract anyone with money to do your business, because you might lose your business. If a lot of times or most of the times in the investment world, whoever has the money will have the greater shares.
Yep.
So if you as an entrepreneur, desperately want to open your business and you attract an investor and he takes the majority, then you need to understand that in the future he might, want to buy your shares, he might want to push you out through diluting shares, through bringing in different investors, and so on and so forth. These are decisions that he will be able to make for the business. And at that stage, if you're not able to put in additional money into the business, yes, you might lose out. It's going to be very hard. And a lot of people lose their businesses just like that, very easily. So my advice is, if you have something that you have a strong connection to, your idea and your concept, and you believe it's going to be very successful, then you might want to wait. Maybe generate the money, maybe do it with family, with friends, people that you trust, rather than just attracting investors and possibly losing it.
Absolutely, yes. So guys, as Patrick said, think very carefully when you try to attract extra money for your business, when you talk with investors, because should not be only about the money, but about their inspiration as well. Because you may not run on your own and just use someone else's money. Or you have to clearly define what will be your role in the business and what will be the investor's role in the business and what will be your shares and decision power and so on.
Absolutely.
So I'm not saying don't attract investors, do it, but do it in the right way.
Absolutely.
And think carefully.
Absolutely.
Patrick, can you a little bit talk about your background? What did you do before Skinny Burgers?
Yes.
If you had other businesses or
Originally, I come from Germany, Berlin. I have been in the nutrition field. I'm a nutritionist, personal trainer. I studied sports. That was my passion at a younger age. Before that, I was a paramedic. Worked as a paramedic 4 years, so I was always in that health, medical field. And then 10 years ago, I decided to come to Dubai, work as a personal trainer and nutritionist initially, and started my first, had my first business venture at a very young age.
How old were you?
I was 23.
Okay.
Started a business, which was my idea, my concept, everything. Had some misunderstandings, disagreements.
With your co-founders?
With not even co-founders, with my partners. And eventually I decided to leave the business. So that was a great, learning curve. It was a great lesson. And I'm very, very grateful, very thankful for this lesson, because you need to go through the struggle in order to thrive eventually. And it, you have to be ready to struggle as an entrepreneur. It's not always, as easy as it looks to the outside people, because the outside sees when everything is done. But it's not just done like that. There are many steps and many things you need to go through, and you just have to be ready for that. But eventually, this is what I believe, if you don't lose focus, it's going to pay off. And so yes, after that business venture, I started a different company, which is in interior finishings and artwork and such. So I have a product called Poopsie.
Oh wow!
Which is a pre-toilet perfume.
So guys, another takeaway from Patrick is that don't be discouraged by failures. Every entrepreneurial idea, every business may not be 100% successful from the first time. Some great people tried 10, 20 times until they achieved the perfect, great result. So what I suggest you to do is just to try, go ahead and do it. Listen to advice, do research, but at the same time don't wait for too long. Try to do something, not maybe multi-million business. Try to do a small business. Try to go ahead and do a real product. Show yourself and other people that you're capable of doing it. If you fail, it's a learning lesson. You can try again and again. But the thing is that you need to start one day, and this day should be today, and try to achieve something and show it to other people. So, Patrick, on your current example of Skinny Burgers, just to help people understand and have a better idea, can you tell how much was total cost of the license to obtain it? Maybe with all the approvals, like, you know, in general, how much you spent, and how long did it take so far?
You should actually ask my accountant right now. I wish he would be here.
Okay.
I can give you an estimate. Again, it depends on what field of business you're in, because each field requires you to have a different license, and obviously then, you know, there is a different price, a different cost to it. From what I remember, just for the license, to obtain the license, to this point, maybe we spent around 15,000
dirhams.
Dirhams.
Yep.
But then again, there are so many things you need to consider, because another very important thing is, if you want to get a shop, you might want to consider getting a shop that is already done, where you don't have to, you know, do all the MEP works, and where you don't have to, you know, go through all these approvals.
So basically, just to give an idea, there are two kinds of shops. One is called shell and core, and one is called fitted, as I understand, right?
Absolutely.
So Patrick says is that sometimes it's better to get a fitted shop, which is already has like maybe like walls, some connections, rather than shell and core. Shell and core is basically when the building is finished, like, you know, that one which is under construction. They just, you know, they just give it to you as it is, and you have to, like, you know, do all this struggle. So yeah, from my experience, also from Patrick's experience, it may be a little bit more expensive in terms of rent, but it will cover some many other expenses.
Exactly. So you need to calculate this. A lot of people will ask for additional money because it's already fitted out, but it might be worth it. It really depends. You need to calculate that.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be also much faster to launch your business from fitted office rather than from shell and core. You know, construction is a separate topic, to be honest. You have to learn about it. So I'm not going to discuss it right now, but in the future, guys, before you go into construction deals, do research, watch our future videos when we will explain to you how to pick the right contractor, how to make the deal, and in general how to make things work with construction. It's not that easy. Can you give three pieces of advice to young, inspired people, entrepreneurs, or maybe future entrepreneurs? What you would tell them?
What would I tell you guys? The most important thing is have a vision and believe in that vision. You need to truly make sure there's no doubt that this is going to be successful. That's advice number one. Advice number two is have a good partner, because doing a business alone can be very tiring. It can be very bumpy sometimes. Nobody is great at everything. So having somebody you're working with, somebody you trust, it will help you. It will help you with you know, your time management. It's going to help you with getting things done in certain departments, and it will inspire you also. But obviously this person needs to be on the same level of enthusiasm that you're on. And the third advice I can give is stay persistent. Don't give up, no matter what. Just pull through. You're going to have really tough times sometimes, possibly. And that's normal. You just need to stay persistent, and eventually you will get there. It's just a matter of time, but eventually everything, you know, if it is your truest wish, you will get there.
Thank you, Patrick. Guys, if you have some more questions, you are always welcome to write them in comments. Myself, I will monitor all the questions and try to answer them. If I don't have an answer, I will maybe call Patrick and ask him. Maybe he'll just go on our YouTube page and just reply with his answer. So we are here to help you, honestly. So watch our future videos, watch this video, share it with your friends. As Patrick just said, it's very important to have people with the same vision, with the same level of enthusiasm, who would support you, who will run for you an extra mile any day of the week, any time of the day, anytime, and who will help you to achieve success. All right. Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Alright guys, so now you've seen how the real business is made. Like, it's not always as shiny and bright as, like, in McDonald's or some restaurants. You have to go through steps of construction. Of course, there will be dust. You have to cover stuff. You have to set up TVs. You have to eventually hang them on the walls, connect electricity, get Devon, turn the lights, and only then, throughout this process, you will get the final product, and then you can open the doors to your business and welcome customers. That's how businesses are made. So don't think it's like, it's one click and you are up and running. Of course, you have to go through all the steps, all the approvals, all the construction, but finally you will get there. You will open the doors of your business and get your first clients. That's a great feeling when you accomplish it, and then it will just run up to a great success. So guys, I encourage you to start thinking what will be your next business. Write in comments your ideas, give like, share this video with your friends, and come to Skinny Burgers when it launches. We'll probably shoot one more time and show you the final product. But for now, stay excited, follow us on social media as well as Skinny Burger, and go ahead.